Ms. Brickwig, who will go over the proposed 2022 budget.
Thank you, Mr. President. Okay. This is the public hearing for the 2022 tax budget of the Village of St. Bernard. This budget will be submitted to Hamilton County for their review and action. I have provided council and the administration with a breakout of the budget. The 2022 tax budget reflects the village's general fund, which is the basic operating fund of the village. The estimated revenue for 2022 is revenue from the village's earned income tax, $10,500,000. Expected general fund receipts from property taxes, $1,100,000, which brings the total tax receipts estimated to be $11,600,000. Estimated revenue from state and county revenue sharing and certain taxes and permits, $211,200. Other expected revenue for the Village of St. Bernard comes from charges for services, $600,000, fines, local licenses and permits, $150,000, and miscellaneous revenue for $650,000. That brings the estimated general fund revenue for 2022 to $13,211,200. The expenditures estimated for 2022. Within each class of expenditures is in the tax budget. There's estimated costs are itemized for personnel, contractual services, supplies and materials, and equipment or capital outlay. For the security of persons and property, which is our police and fire departments, it is $5,122,139. For public health services, it's $6,100. For leisure time activities, which is parks and recreation, it's $252,857. For basic utility services, which is our service department, $1,502,550. Transportation, which is our dial-a-ride, $36,500. And general government, $2,459,385. Transfers from the general fund to other funds, such as the street, swimming pool, debt service, master plan, and employee health plan, $3,591,000, which brings the total expected general fund expenditures for 2022 to $12,970,531, which gives us a surplus of $240,669. Are there any questions?
Mr. President.
Mr. Bob Culbertson.
Peggy, on this, does it, where would, I guess, like the fee we're charging the Elmwood be and then the trash fee? Is that under miscellaneous?
Services. No, services.
Services? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So what would make up the miscellaneous? Is that just the payment?
Like when you get things from, I mean, you just never know. BWC refunds,
Okay.
that goes in there. Just various different refunds we get. And this is just an estimate. Sometimes, actually, this is kind of low. It's usually a little higher than that.
Okay. Thanks.
Anyone
Any-
else? Any questions?
Okay, that will conclude. Oh, I'm sorry.
Anyone in the audience have any questions on the public hearing? Nope.
That will conclude the public hearing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. All right, so the June 17th meeting of St. Bernard Village Council will please come to order. We invite you to please stand for prayer, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Our Father, who art in heaven, as a body we congregate in this council chamber for the betterment of our fellow citizens, lead us that we may do all things well. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. DeBerke.
Present.
Mr. Ray Culberson.
Here.
Mr. Schultmeyer.
Present.
Mr. Bob Culberson.
Here.
Mrs. Bettinghouse.
Here.
Mrs. Miller.
Here.
Ms. Housefeld.
Here.
Let the record show that all 7 members are present. Members of council, what is your pleasure on the reading of the last minutes?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
make a motion to dispense with the reading of the last minutes.
Second that, Mr. President.
Motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Ms. Housefeld to dispense with the reading of the last minutes. Are there any remarks? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Members of council, are there any errors or corrections to the minutes as submitted? If not, the minutes will stand as submitted. We'll move to reports of city officials. Mayor, Mr. Stuchel.
Thank you, Mr. President. This Wednesday, I had the pleasure of swearing in the newest member of our police department, Brendan Blair. He is also a certified firefighter and EMT, and we look forward to the residents of getting to know him. We have a conditional offer that has been extended to another individual pending the required psychological evaluation and the physical that is required for the Police and Fire Pension Board. We will have a ceremonial swearing in for both of our new officers, hopefully in July, here at a council meeting. Just as a reminder, that Dangerous Jim and the Slims will be playing in the pavilion on Saturday, July 17th from 7:30 to 10:30 p.m. during the family night at the pool. So come down and enjoy some good music in the heart of St. Bernard. Remember to bring your lawn chairs and coolers. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Auditor, Ms. Brickwick.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Auditor's Office has prepared Ordinance 15 and Resolution 4 for tonight's meeting. Ordinance 15 creates the new line item 07-10 Orchard Street Road Project. It also provides additional appropriations to the following: General Fund 208C, Building Maintenance City Hall, $30,000. General Fund 8A2, Building Maintenance Safety Center for $10,000. General Fund 58-7A Concerts, $1,500. General Fund 58-9 Community Events, $40,000. And 50-01 Employee Accumulated Sick Pay. Resolution 4 authorizes the Service Director to file an application with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources Nature Works Grant. If the village receives this grant, it will use it to install an all-weather track at Lower Ross Park. Thank you, Mr. President. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Director of Law, Ms. Van Valkenburg. Thank you. Treasurer, Mr. Unger.
Thank you, Mr. President. This evening I have the bank statement from the Star Ohio account that we have with the treasurer with the state of Ohio. Our total at the end of May was $5,320,122.03, and copies have been given to council and to the clerk. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Safety and Service Director, Mr. Paul.
Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening. There is a sewer leak in the right center of Frank Robinson Field. MSD has been called and verified that is theirs. They will repair it as soon as possible. Some games may have to be rescheduled. Coming from the south on Tower Avenue, the sidewalk on the left will be temporarily closed as they are going to pour new cement for the right-of-way. Please be tolerant and patient. To my community, lots of times we do not have answers, proper advice, or know the right direction. Lots of times we think we are the only ones who do, though. Lots of times life can prove us wrong. Lots of times we lose control of something we never had control of in the first place. Seek out harmony in each moment, and lots of times you will find that there's lots of times spent in turmoil. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Tax Commissioner / Administrator, Ms. Helms.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have the monthly report for May of 2021. Tax collections for May were $755,493. Refunds for May were $34,767. The village is up 29.65% in tax revenue from May of 2020. This is really just due to the shift in the tax filing due date to May 17th from April 15th. Payments from the e-file system for April and May were $18,363. So I'm pretty impressed with the e-file system and how many people responded to that. $2,034.31 in delinquent tax was collected from capital recovery for the month of May. $681.30 in delinquent tax was collected from the Ohio Attorney General's office in May. And I just wanted to touch on that after I finish up the 2020 tax filing, I'm going to be working on all the people that sub and filed 2019. And I've been now doing assessments on those people. So if you don't file your 2019, I won't necessarily, I can take you to mayor's court, but I've been doing the assessment process, and the state of Ohio law allows this. And I just want to remind people that you have 60 days after I send notification for you to amend that assessment that I will issue. If you fail to respond after 60 days, that tax balance is finalized. So you can't come in and say, hey, I got my stuff, I want to, change my taxes. It's finalized by law. And then it gets sent to the Ohio Attorney General's office, and they will either contact you for payment plans and or they'll garnish tax refunds, numerous things. So like I said, if you get a certified letter from me about a tax assessment, please give me a call so we can, change that before the 60 days are up. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Now move to reports of standing committees. Finance, Mr. Taberky.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just like the residents know, I reserved the main level hall for a Meet the Candidate Night on Thursday, October 7th, 7 p.m. Council and school board candidates will be invited. Concludes my report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Safety, Mr. Ray Culberson.
Thanks, Mr. President. Last reminder of the upcoming Block Watch meeting. It's Thursday, June 24th, 6:30 p.m., main level of the municipal building. I would like to welcome Brendan on board as our newest police officer, welcome him to St. Bernard, and I'd also like to thank and congratulate Bill Gerhardt, who is concluding his work here with the village in the next few days. Congratulations to all. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Service, Mr. Schultmeyer.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Public improvements, Mr. Bob Culbertson.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Laws, contracts, and claims, Ms. Bettinghouse.
Thank you, Mr. President. The Laws, Contracts, and Claims Committee met on June 3rd to discuss Airbnb rentals in the village. Mayor Stuchel spoke to some concerns that had come to him and other village council members relative to how the Airbnbs were being utilized, mainly around parties and number of people occupying the rental at one time. There was an owner of an Airbnb present to discuss the process for renting and guidelines they have put into place for their renters. It was a very good information that helped those of us who were not aware of how those rentals work. Our law director had copies of ordinances that were established by other cities to ensure fire codes, occupancy numbers, etc. were being met for these types of rentals. Mayor Stuchel will continue discussion with the law director as to ordinance recommendations and bring this back to the committee. That concludes my report.
Thank you. Marketing, Ms. Miller.
Thank you, Mr. President. I would like to let the residents know that the schedule of events pertaining to the German Luau will be published in the July 2021 newsletter. Again, as mentioned at the COW, we are working on our Facebook page for the event, and we are hoping to have the page published by tomorrow. However, it is starting to lean more towards Monday for publishing while we work out some last-minute kinks. In other news, Farmers Insurance was our featured business profile in the June 2021 newsletter. Ms. Andrea Quayle offers auto, home, life, business, and commercial insurance right here in St. Bernard since 2007. Andrea is not only a business owner here in town, but also a resident. Check out the June newsletter for the full write-up on Farmers Insurance. Some recreation updates. Arts and crafts are in full swing on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays down at Vine Street Park from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The St. Bernard Stingrays have started their 2021 swim season. I would like to wish all of our swimmers luck. Their first home meet is scheduled for June 22nd down at the St. Bernard Community Pool. One last reminder, the Historical Society program is still scheduled to occur on June 21st at 7 p.m. in the St. Bernard Municipal Building, main level. Please join them for their presentation of St. Bernard pharmacies. Members are free. There is a $5 charge for non-members. This concludes my report.
Thank you. Business and industry, Ms. Hausfeld.
No report, Mr. President.
Thank you. Committee of the whole, Ms. Kathman has been forwarded to council and administration. Thank you. Are there any communications this evening? Nope. All right. At this time, could the clerk please give the first reading of resolution number 4, 2021?
Resolution number 4, 2021. A resolution authorizing the service director to file an application with the Ohio Department of Natural Resources and provide all information and documentation required and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of resolution number 4, 2021. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse.
I make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 4, 2021.
Second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, seconded by Ms. Hausfeld to suspend with the second and third reading of resolution number 4, 2021. Are there any remarks?
Mr. President,
Mr. Ray Culbertson.
just one small change at the bottom. It says City of St. Bernard. I I, Sue Kathman, Clerk of Council, if we could change that to village.
Ms. Bettinghouse, do I have a motion to amend resolution number 4, 2021?
Mr. President, make a motion to amend Resolution Number 4, 2021.
I'll second that.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Ms. Housefeld to amend resolution 4, 2021. Are there any remarks? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered. Any other remarks? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Taberky?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schultmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Mrs. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
make a motion to adopt Resolution Number 4, 2021.
I'll second that.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Mr. Ray Culberson to adopt resolution number 4, 2021 as amended. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Taberky?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schultmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Mrs. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion is adopted. Resolution number 4, 2021 as amended is adopted. All right. Clerk, will you please give the first reading of ordinance number 15, 2021?
Ordinance number 15, 2021, authorizing and directing the auditor to create a new line item and provide additional appropriation and declaring an emergency.
Members of council, you've heard the first reading of ordinance number 15, 2021. What is your pleasure?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
make a motion to suspend with the second and third reading of Ordinance Number 15, 2021.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, second by Ms. Housefeld to suspend with the second and third reading of ordinance number 15, 2021. Are there any remarks? If not, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address council on ordinance 15? If not, clerk, will you please call the roll on suspension?
Mr. Taberky?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schultmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Mrs. Miller?
Aye.
Ms. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays, motion carries. Members of council, what is your pleasure on adoption?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse?
make a motion to adopt Ordinance Number 15, 2021.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Ms. Bettinghouse, seconded by Ms. Housefeld to adopt ordinance number 15, 2021. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Taberky?
Aye.
Mr. Ray Culberson?
Aye.
Mr. Schultmeyer?
Aye.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Aye.
Mrs. Bettinghouse?
Aye.
Mrs. Miller?
Aye.
Mrs. Housefeld?
Aye.
7 ayes, no nays. Motion carries. Ordinance number 15, 2021 is adopted as read. At this time, does anyone on council have anything under old business?
Mr. President,
Mr. Taberky?
Tommy, can you expand on the Tower Avenue sidewalk? You said south side, where at?
Sorry, Mr. President.
Paul?
So we're talking the going downhill on the left side. It'll be between Franklin Park and all the way down to Tower Avenue. Washington Avenue, sorry, yeah. Basically what they're doing is allowing people to cross the street to get down because they'll be pouring that sidewalk. It should take probably a week or so, and they'll have it all tore up and relayed, and that'll be good to go.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone
Mr.
else on it?
President.
Mr. Bob Culberson?
Mayor Stuchel, someone was asking me about the concert down at the Pavilion. Is the pool going to be open during that time? And if so, is it free to residents? Or I think they said it was in the past, it was always like free, bring your coolers or.
Mr. President,
Mayor?
I'll be working that out with the recreation director, but the intent was to, yes, the concert would be free. My feeling for the night, I would have no issue with it being open to anyone as far as the pool entrance. But typically, if you're entering the pool, they still wanted you to go through that particular entrance. But people that are coming to the concert, you will be able to get in through the pavilion as far as the back side. So, but again, it's going to be open to everyone. But details are going to be published on that.
President,
Mr. Zaberki.
One last thing, Peggy, did we get our money from Elmwood yet? It's been about a month now, I think, isn't it?
I have not received it yet, no.
Mr. President,
Mayor.
there was some additional information that was requested from the village that was delivered to them to expand upon that as far as a report to go along with the billing. So we should be expecting something very shortly from them.
Anyone else under old business? If not, does anyone in council have anything under new business?
Mr. President,
Ms. Bettinghouse.
I was asked if I could just bring this to council to read so people will know. There will be a Ben Strong Give Back Blood Drive on Friday, July 23rd from 1 to 7 p.m. at St. Bernard Municipal Building. You can schedule an appointment by calling 513-451-0910 or on the website provided. You can go to the Many Adventures of Ben Strong Facebook page, and the flyer will have a link to schedule through there. Thank you in advance for supporting this cause.
Thank you. Anyone else under new business? If not, is there anyone in the audience wishing to address council this evening? Please state your name and address for the record.
Is that better? Nicole Klungel, 551 Church Street. I just wanted to invite the many standing committees of council to take a more active role in the monthly newsletter. There are several reports that you read at council meetings that could be interesting to the public if presented in context. Just as an example, you read service numbers in terms of how much recycling was collected, how much trash was collected. If you did a profile on how recycling works in St. Bernard, I think that would be really informational and useful to a lot of residents, especially if presented like how much it varies year to year, whether we pay for it or whether we're paid for it, that kind of thing. I would love to see that. There are other reports that you read that would also be helpful. In addition, I know that Ms. Miller just read the business profile from this last newsletter. That's something the Business and Industry Committee could also help with. In addition, I would love to see a business directory for St. Bernard that includes not only some brick and mortar businesses in St. Bernard, but the many small businesses that are run from people's homes. Also, if it would be possible to list the committees and who's on them in the elected officials page of the village website. I think that would help a lot of people if they have inquiries for various committees, find out who they're supposed to contact. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience? All right. The next committee of the whole will be Thursday, July 8th at 7 p.m. At this time, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Mr. President,
Mr. Ray Culbertson.
make a motion, we adjourn.
I'll second that, Mr. President.
A motion by Mr. Ray Culbertson, second by Ms. Housefeld to adjourn. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned.